Edit it out.
Yesterday I walked into the bathroom and
Our bathroom or your work bathroom?
our bathroom.
Okay.
And you yelled at me, you shouted, you screamed at me, "Go away, you can't see me floss." So you were on the verge of flossing, or you were in the midst of flossing?
I was in the midst of flossing. And I have to floss in front of the mirror because I have to look in my mouth as I do it.
Okay.
I know you do it like out here in the living room, just like freestyling. I have to look at myself to do it.
And I can't be present for that activity because...
It's embarrassing. It's gross.
It's
like,
gross.
We're in a romantic relationship, you and I.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
So there's like some things like I don't want you to see all of my like beauty routine, self-care, behind the scenes. You need to think like, oh, she woke up like this.
I've seen it all.
You have not seen it all.
There's more?
You've seen a lot.
There's more to be revealed? There's more to be coming after the commercial break?
Being aware that something happens and watching something happen, those are two different things.
Yeah.
So,
well, what I do is I grab like 3 yards of floss and then I come out into the kitchen because I'm a man and I refuse to use the bathroom trash.
Yeah.
So I grab a bunch of floss, I walk out into the kitchen and I floss away like there's no tomorrow.
Without a mirror, which I cannot fathom.
Yes. And so you're still, you don't want me to see you.
Flossing is gross.
It is gross. You get like the bile and the tartar sauce, as it were.
I don't want you to see that. I don't want you to know that I, your wife, do this.
But I do know, and I have seen. Yes, Lennox Albert.
Hi, son.
But I always go back to. I had a medical issue, and this was during COVID, so telemedicine was big.
Are we going to talk about this?
Well, I would just like to say that I was on a teledoc or whatever.
You had a video doctor appointment via video with your doctor.
Right, and I had a issue with my booty.
You had a rectal issue.
Yes, and she needed to see what was going on. And I couldn't do that. I couldn't do it justice. So you showed this lovely doctor.
You spread it.
Yeah.
I held the phone.
Yes.
Hi. Look at you in your cute new clothes. Okay, you guys are going to the park?
Be careful. Have fun.
Keep your phone on.
Keep it real.
Love you guys. Bye.
But you showed this doctor the ends of me.
Me and the doctor saw it all.
Yeah. And so after that, I'm like, there's nowhere else to go. We can't go any further.
And by the way,
down.
Let me just inject real quick.
Yes.
You were trying to like make jokes, bring some levity to the situation, and
Really?
the doctor was not having it.
With our doctor?
Yes. I was laughing.
Yeah.
I thought you were great.
Yeah.
She was not having it. She was very serious, like just.
Yes, Len. Oh, I thought you said mom. Do you remember what I said, or
no? You were just like, being funny and lighthearted, and she was like, "Okay, anyway,
hey, this is my.
Let's talk about the issue at hand."
Yeah.
Okay. No, you see what? Okay, you see.
Mm-hmm.
I think that is less embarrassing than flossing
floss.
in front of each other.
That's some tartar.
I would rather you filmed my rectal exam for my doctor than you watch me floss.
Ah, okay. I see.
And oop. Are you taking your skateboard?
No.
All right, you guys. Have fun. Be
Make
safe.
us proud.
Lock the door.
Say hi to Canby Brown. Auntie Canby.
Auntie Canby and Uncle Pow.
Oh, dear.
And oop.
Bye.
Bye.
And oop.
Greetings, Internet. Welcome to But I'm Still a Good Person by Vince Nicholas. I'm Vince Nicholas. I'm joined by my sparkling wifey, Carolyn Nicholas.
Hey, hey, hey.
Hello, honey. Thank you for joining me at our dining room table for our little program here. Okay, I found a listicle, and I thought it would be funny if we read through this listicle. And cracked wise,
You love listicles.
I do. The internet loves listicles, honey.
Yeah, they do.
And the other thing that the internet loves is you got a new dog. Okay, this is on a Facebook. This is a Facebook thing. You got a new dog, and the last thing you ate is the name of your new dog. What's the name of your new dog? And there's hundreds of thousands of replies and comments.
300K comments.
Why?
And okay, why is it?
I name my new dog Ritz Crackers, which is mildly amusing to me for about 3 seconds. Why do people engage in this nonsense?
Because they want to feel something.
Yes.
Their lives are empty.
Yes. They want to be a part of something.
They want to be funny. They want to be acknowledged.
Right.
Don't we all?
Exactly. We all want validation. We're all looking for people to find us amusing on some level. But I found a listicle. It's 13 interactions, not interactions. There's a T in there, okay?
Interaction.
Yeah. It's not important. It's important. It's not Michael Keaton. It's Michael Keaton. 13 interactions every extremely awkward person has experienced at least once in their life.
I'm so here for this.
Yes.
I, as an awkward person, I'm really excited to dive into this.
I would deem everyone quote unquote awkward on some level.
Sure. That's part of being a human.
Yeah.
There's awkwardness in all of us.
But I think the majority of people, while there's awkward situations, majority of people like me, they're pretty sure of themselves and secure, and
it must be nice to feel that way, honey.
it is. That's my toxic masculinity. That's my privilege talking.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so 13 interactions every extremely awkward person has experienced at least once in their life. Number 1, and I'm not going to number these because I'm going to lose track, and we've had some spirits.
It's hard for you to number lists.
Who cares? Okay, so the first one. And most of these are tweets, and some of these are just stolen from Reddit, which is fine. Most of BuzzFeed is stolen from Reddit.
Oh.
The first one. Awkward interaction. Is that what we're doing? Yes. Here's a tweet. Does anyone actually know what you're supposed to do when people are singing happy birthday to you?
Yeah. This is so awkward.
What are you supposed to do?
You just like smile politely and look from face to face and like dee 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 dee, and like you like nod your head to the song.
Yeah.
You look around and I hate this.
Well, I remember being sung happy birthday to. I remember a specific birthday. I think it was 8-ish, 10-ish, but we had a backyard pool, honey, in Mira Mesa.
Above ground or?
It was above ground.
Oh, those are fun.
Yes. It was above ground, but it was a pool, and my mom threw this birthday party for me, and again, I was 8-ish, 10-ish. I think it was closer to 8. I was in Mira Mesa, now that I think about it. But we had a birthday party, and I didn't really have birthday parties before then, and I didn't have them after then because I was insecure that nobody would show up.
Aww.
But some people showed up, and it was a good time in the above ground pool. But I remember being sung happy birthday, and I just remember focusing on the cake. I stared at the cake.
Zeroing in on the frosting.
I was focused on the cake. That's all I cared about. I was like, I'm into this cake.
You were like, shut up so I can eat.
Yeah. I want to get to this cake. Can we get over this awkwardness? But as an adult, I haven't been sung happy birthday. Have you? Or
I think so. It's been a long time, but I think as an adult, I would occasionally have family birthday dinners at my parents' house.
Yeah.
And if not a cake, there may have been some sort of dessert or dinner, and perhaps I was sung to. I don't remember exactly.
Your parents are big on ceremony and gallivanting.
since my parents and my siblings, we've always lived in the same like county vicinity.
Yes.
So getting together for people's birthdays has always been a thing. So yeah, I'm sure as an adult I've experienced this more than you have.
Yeah. But when you are sung happy birthday, do you remember do you stare at the cake like I did as an 80-year-old
No.
chubby boy wearing a Milwaukee Brewers uniform? Yes. Paul
Milwaukee's
Molitor, honey.
uniform.
Paul Molitor and Robin Yount. Ever hear of them?
I think I like awkwardly like, you know, when you like. So as a performer, when you're standing on stage,
Yes.
singing or dancing,
Yes.
you look at the crowd,
You're like Cecily Strong.
but you don't make eye contact. So you look at you're looking at everyone and
right.
you're looking at no one.
Right.
And it's the same thing when you're being sung happy birthday to.
Right.
Your face is like grazing the crowd,
Yes.
but you're not making eye contact with
Right.
anybody.
Okay. It's the old adage of picture everyone naked, which you shouldn't do because then you'll really trip out.
What?
Well, they said picture everyone naked, then you won't supposedly get nervous. Well, I think about your parents came home from Barbados, 3 years in Barbados in June, or was it July?
It's June 30, I believe they came home.
They came home, and it was nephew Jace's birthday.
Oh yeah.
Your parents walked off the plane, disembarked from traveling from Barbados, and did they catch a connecting flight? Or
Oh, they caught a few.
they were traveling all day.
I believe they spent the night in New York City in a hotel.
They were traveling all day. Yes, they were traveling all day, and seen the good and the bad of the TSA and flying. And I was just like, they must be knocked out, ready to pass out, and just tired. It was young Jace's birthday.
His birthday is June 28th.
Okay.
They arrived home June 30th.
Oh.
So I believe they'd been traveling since his birthday. 'Cause
Okay.
It takes so dang long, and all these flights you got to catch and layovers and this and that.
And we had the whole Fisher/Lewis clan. It was 30 deep, I think. Something like that.
Yeah.
And your parents came down from the escalator, and it was 2 days after Jace's birthday. But your parents dove right into singing happy birthday to Jace Fisher. And I was like, wow.
You and I happened to be right by them when they were like hugging Jace and saying hi to him.
Mm-hmm.
And then they were like, oh, it's your birthday. And then my parents are really funny and cute.
Yeah.
So they always call or in person sing happy birthday to whoever's birthday it is.
Yeah.
And they harmonize.
Yes. They take it seriously.
Like they've worked on this. They've practiced.
It's like the mamas and the papas up in there.
So in the lobby of the airport,
yes,
they sung to Jace. They harmonized.
Right.
They went for it.
And it was as a Fisher of 3 years myself, or whatever I am. I was like, okay, they've been traveling all day. I would want to go home and shower and pass out and knock out, but they made it a point to sing to young Jace happy birthday, and I was like, this is a moment, this is something. And while they were in Barbados for 3 years, we video called with them here and there, and it's when someone's birthday. They don't mess around, dude. Like they're all about singing happy birthday and harmonizing.
They always sing happy birthday to us via video call or in person.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
And they always harmonize. I love it.
It's something.
They've been doing this for a long time,
Yeah.
like since I was younger. Yeah.
Your dad turns on like the Richard Marx, and your mom turns on like she's like a member of ABBA, and I don't. It's a whole deal, and it's adorable. I've never seen anything like it from my parents.
Honey, have you seen my dad bust out the guitar?
I have not.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Because you and I started dating shortly before they left for Barbados for 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a regular thing for my dad to bust out his guitar and play it, and my mom and him and the kids singing and doing their thing.
Wow.
That's a fun time.
They're coming over tomorrow.
They are.
Tell Alan Fisher to bring that guitar.
Or maybe I can finally get my guitar out from downstairs in the closet, which he bought for me.
It's not a banjo?
It's a guitar. It's a guitar my dad bought for me, and I don't know how to play it.
But you want a banjo, right?
Oh, I want a ukulele.
A ukulele, right. So we can do REM, Losing My Religion.
Or maybe I'll finally learn how to play that guitar.
Next one. This is a tweet. The number 2 awkward something interaction. blah, 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 blah. That awkward little run when someone lets you cross the street.
Oh, I hate this.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
You have to make like you're putting in an effort. Like you're a Carl Lewis out here. Michael Johnson. I'm
a big time pedestrian.
Yes.
I love walking.
Yes.
I used to work in Midtown.
Yes.
Before that, I worked. Oh, I've worked in Midtown since like 2007.
Yeah.
Through 2020.
20. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so for many years, I worked in downtown / Midtown Sacramento.
Yeah.
I love walking.
Yes.
I love walking around the town, the city.
We love walking.
We love walking.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I cross streets fairly often where cars are crossing.
Mm-hmm.
And my philosophy, I know as a driver, you wanna pause and let the walker walk.
Yes.
But my philosophy as a walker
Yes.
has always been, you drive much more quickly than I walk. So just go. Because then you're holding up traffic.
Yeah.
I feel like I start sweating because I'm trying to cross the street like really quickly.
Is that
I'm holding up traffic.
That sounds like a long street. Yes.
It is occasionally, depending on the intersection, it is.
It is. It can be.
So
yeah.
as a pedestrian crossing, I'm stressed out.
Yeah.
I'm holding up traffic.
Yeah.
I'm irritated. I'm like, just go.
Do you give the hand wave like?
Sometimes I do, and sometimes I just like.
Move your Audi ass.
Either way, I'm annoyed.
Yeah. I do. Well, I don't cross a lot of streets, but in my job, I doors are a big deal. And so
very similar.
So I think back to this incident that happened 2-ish weeks ago. Lady was holding the door for me, but I was like 30 feet away. 20 to 30 feet away.
That's so awkward.
And you need a badge to get in. So she was holding it for me. First of all, no tailgating allowed. Okay, lady? So
yeah.
I should have called HR and reporter and the popo. But she was entering the premises and I was 20 to 30 feet away. And then she holds the door and I'm like, well, should I start running here? And I used to run and I used to jog, but now my job, there's a ton of steps, so I don't run or jog anymore. So I was like, well, I could start jogging here, but I don't know how my jogging form is right now because I haven't jogged or run in so long. And she was an older gal, 50s-ish, 60s. And so I thought, okay, so she holds the door open for me. I'm 20 to 30 feet away. And I'm like, I could start running here / jogging, but my running / jogging wouldn't look as good as her running / jogging. And she's a 60-year-old woman.
Oh, honey.
So I kind of like, I upped my steppage, my amperage a little. Like I skipped. I was holding a basket.
That's the other thing. I was wondering, are your hands full? Like you're trying to speed and you've got your hands full?
Yes, I do hold the envelopes, but it wasn't like I wasn't carrying a lot of cargo. But I did speed up, but I couldn't jog / run because I feel like I'm embarrassing.
Was she like, look at this loser?
Probably.
He's so slow.
Probably. And I was thinking that exact same thing. I look like such a loser.
On the reverse side of that,
yes.
I used to be a person who was so afraid of offending people and being rude, where I would hold the door and people were like across the parking lot and I'm like holding the door for them. Yeah. So I used to hold it for a ridiculously long time.
Yeah.
So over the past few years, I've tried to stop myself from being so afraid.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you walk through, you close it. Who cares?
Yeah.
Like the person behind you can badge themselves in.
Yeah.
So now I'm afraid that I'm like too on the opposite side where I'm like slamming the door in people's faces. But I feel like slamming the door in someone's face is better than holding it and making them feel so like awkward and they gotta run.
Yeah. Well, there's two things I think of. One, have you like let the door start to close, and then you look over your shoulder like, oh, there's a person there.
I don't look over my shoulder.
Yeah.
I don't let myself do that.
Ah, I see. I see.
I'm ignorant, okay?
Yeah.
Ignorance is bliss.
Yeah. Another thing is that, like, at 7-Eleven, AM, PM, I hold the door, and someone waltzes in there. I'm like, you're who I want to be. Like, you don't care about me. You don't care about the door. You don't care about the mask policy at AM, PM. Whatever. You just kind of saunter in there. I want to be you, man. Next one. Awkward interaction. Is that what we're doing?
Yeah.
Okay. Here's a tweet. Is there really anything worse than being forced to watch a video on someone else's phone and having to pretend to laugh for 2 minutes?
No!
There's nothing
This
worse.
is the worst.
Yeah. I in my life don't really do this. I don't do this anymore.
No.
But sending memes that you think are funny and then you text or DM them or message them, and then you don't get the reaction that you were going for or that you had, and you're just like, okay.
I send you memes,
Yes.
and this is exactly what happens.
Is there a specific one that you can think of?
No,
Oh,
just often.
yeah.
So I try to do it less and less.
Yeah. Well, as a student of comedy, honey, you know,
Oh.
I get into the science. I'm like, this is funny because of this. This is not funny because of that. So I'll be like, this isn't relatable to me because of this, and what about this and that, and I'll break it down on a few levels, and I realize I shouldn't do that to you, my sparkling wifey, but that's how my mind thinks. I'm just a student of the science of comedy.
All humor is subjective.
Exactly. As Lennox Albert says, my taste buds changed, Mom, when he doesn't like goldfish crackers after liking goldfish crackers for 6 years of his short 9-year life. Yeah, it's all subjective, but, well, I think it's better than, quote unquote, faking, like just sending you a laughing emoji.
I would rather you fake with me, honey.
Oh, really? You
I
want me to
don't-
fake it? Well, again, as someone, you know, I read books on comedians and comedy.
You're
and
very learned.
I'm very learned in just broadcasting what's funny and what's quote unquote interesting. So if I don't find something humorous, I need to let you know. And I'm sorry, honey. I apologize for that.
Okay, thank you.
I'm sorry, lover. I love you. We love you. Next one. This is just rando. Chasing after a ping pong ball is wildly dehumanizing. It is.
Okay, I'm disagreeing. I don't
Really?
think it's awkward. I think it's a fun part of the game of ping pong.
What if it gets into the corner of the room and you gotta
You know, this goes
Walk
for
to the
like
corner of the
basketball, like any
Yeah,
game with a
tennis.
ball.
tennis?
It's fun. If you're not playing like a serious like we're at Wimbledon, as long as you're just like having fun with friends or family,
Mm-hmm.
it's all part of the fun. And it's like especially fun if you're like chasing for a very long time. You should laugh at yourself.
I think it's momentarily dehumanizing.
No.
Because what if the ball gets
Well-
stuck under a bookshelf or under something or
I am
and yes.
I'm like the least most competitive person you'll ever meet. I don't care about winning whatsoever. I do not have a competitive streak in myself.
Well, we haven't played ping pong together, honey. Is that the next frontier?
I could care less about winning, losing.
Right. But like tennis, you they have those baskets with like 50 tennis balls, so you can just keep hitting them and hitting them
yeah.
and hit one
Well,
after another.
In a professional,
That's much more humanizing.
in a professional atmosphere.
Yeah.
But if you're just playing like casually at a park,
Yeah.
then you guys are everyone's running after the balls.
It's
themselves.
kind of silly when you're chasing after something the size of a.
I guess I just don't care enough.
Of a big beetle. Next awkward something or other. When someone is in the way of the item you want, so you pretend to look at something else. So you're grocery shopping and someone is looking at the wheat thins mightily closely, and you want wheat thins, but they're very within a few inches of all the flavors of wheat thins, so you spend 90 seconds staring at the Triscuits, honey.
I do this all the time.
Oh, yeah. This is so relatable.
For sure.
Yeah. This is like... you're just, well, okay, so someone's at the wheat thins section and you're right next to them at the Triscuits, and you're looking at the Triscuits, pretending you're in the Triscuits, and you're just like, how long are you going to stare at these wheat thins, buddy? Huh? How long is this nonsense going to take?
Yeah, and as long as I feel like I'm pulling this off, I'm fooling them, I don't feel stupid. But it's when they are like, oh, I'm sorry, then I'm like, oh, no, you're fine.
Yeah.
That's when I feel awkward.
Have you done the move of like they're looking at the Barilla Rotini and you're at the Barilla Lasagna section, and they're the ones waiting to get to the lasagna shelf.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, why is this person hovering over me? Are they that into the Rotini?
I prefer to be... like, inconvenience me as much as you want.
Yeah.
Make me wait. Inconvenience me. I don't care. But if I'm an inconvenience at all, I can't bear that.
Yeah.
It's very uncomfortable for me.
Yeah.
But I'm also a person who loves to compare nutrition labels on various products. So unless I know exactly what I'm going for, then I do tend to linger. Mm-hmm. I'm comparing the fat, the calories, the salt, the blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
But I do try to like at least stand to this. Like I grab a couple things and then I move to the side so they can get in,
right,
and do what they got to do.
You kind of acknowledge like, oh, you want to look at the 9 flavors of Cheez-Its too.
Yeah.
By the way, all the flavors of Cheez-Its, it's just different flavored salt. Okay, can we all get over it?
It's food coloring. The white, the green, the yellow.
Right. And then they label it a flavor, and you're like, okay, I like this white cheddar salt over this, like, you know what? I saw bacon, Cheez-Its.
Ooh.
And I was like, there's no bacon going. There's bacon flavored salt happening here.
What is bacon flavored? It's salt. Right? Like like a meaty salt?
Yeah.
Or a savory salt?
Yeah.
Okay, whatever.
Yeah.
That's just more sodium.
Yeah. But I've done the thing where, like, someone's waiting, and I can tell they're waiting to get into the lasagna area, so I'm like, oh, sorry. Yeah. Here, check out all this Barilla pasta you want, and I'll back off. Like, you do your thing. I'm going to be here another 18 minutes. Next one. When you're approaching someone in a long hallway and you're not sure when to begin eye contact. This is at work. This is the worst.
If it's somebody you don't know their name, they're in a different department.
Yeah.
It's perfectly safe to completely avoid eye contact.
Mm-hmm.
However, if it's like someone you're tangentially connected with, you have some sort of like
connection,
like, oh, I know his
quote,
name,
unquote, relationship,
I know who he works with, whatever. Then that's when the pressure is on.
Yeah.
And sometimes I make eye contact and they do, and I'm like, and now lately I smirk or I smile, but I have a mask on so nobody can tell. And then sometimes I make eye contact because I'm like, I'm waiting till the right moment, and then I make eye contact, and they don't.
You smirk like you're in the middle of a battle in Shang-Chi. What this makes me think of, so you turn the corner in a hallway, and then the other person 10 feet away turns the corner in their hallway. So you're both enter the straight hallway at the same time. You see them right away. They see you right away. And then you're like, okay, that's Lenore's Washington, for instance. And then do you keep eye contact for the 10-foot walk as you approach each other? What I've been doing is like I'll turn the corner. Lenoris will turn the corner. We'll recognize each other, and then, but you don't want to like greet or acknowledge them too early. But you see Lenoris. Lenoris sees Vince Nicholas, and then you kind of turn your eyes down, nose to the ground, and then when you're within 3 to 5 feet, then you spring back up. You're like, "Hey, Lenoris, I'm ignoring you for 4 feet. I don't know."
Well, as long as he's doing the same thing, then you're on the same page, and it's okay.
Yeah.
I think we should rely on the fact that everybody's uncomfortable in this, so we're all on the same page.
Yeah.
It's okay.
What's up with all these hallways? That's what I'm saying. What's up with all these long hallways? Do you have any? Because we have some hallways / turns / corners at my work where they put the mirror up in the corner up top.
I don't, but in the past, in different buildings, I have.
Yeah, that's very odd. So I see Lenoris in the mirror, then I see Lenoris 10 feet away, then I put my face down, then 3 feet away, hey, Lenoris. And then you go about your day. And then he asks me, how are the kids? And I say, rambunctious and incorrigible. That's my go-to answer. Next one. Awkward something or other. When you said something that was funny and no one heard you, so you say it again. That happens.
I think that's fine. Because if nobody heard you, then you're the only one aware of your embarrassment. Here's something that pisses me off.
Yes. Deep breath, girl.
One time.
Let it in. Let it out.
About 8 years ago.
Okay.
I was at the old building I worked in.
What year is it?
Oh,
2013?
Same department I work for now.
Okay.
But I was in my old building.
Okay.
We were in a giant conference room meeting.
Yes.
Various people, and then at the front of the rooms were like the head honchos, supervisors, managers. I made a joke.
Oh, that was your first folly. Your first and last and only folly.
I reacted to something that they said. I made a joke. The people at my table heard me, but nobody else did.
Oh.
Someone at my table, a woman I didn't even know, she said it loud enough so the whole room heard.
So she repeated your joke?
She repeated my joke verbatim. And the managers heard, the whole room heard, and everyone laughed.
Okay.
It was very well received.
Okay.
And my friend was sitting next to me and was like, you just said that.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, I know.
Yeah. It's
like
George
I was
Lopez.
So irritated.
George Lopez stealing jokes, and I repeated George Lopez twice because you were talking over me.
You were talking over me.
So you said your joke, and it was silence. It rang hollow.
Well, there was like only the people at my table could hear me.
Okay.
Because there's the people in the front were talking.
Okay.
And I reacted to something they had said, and
yes.
I said a funny bit.
Yes.
So only the people around me could hear.
Yes.
Then that lady loudly
yes.
said it so everyone could hear, including the people in the front who I was making a joke reaction towards.
Did she purposely repeat your humorous
yes.
quip? So she didn't have this reaction on her own?
No.
This humor. Oh. So she stole your bit?
Yes.
Oh, it's just.
I'm still mad. I don't remember her name.
Do you still work with her? Oh,
I don't remember what she looks like.
Just some rando.
I have no idea who she is. I couldn't tell you.
Dear. But you've gotten over it. I can tell, honey.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's terrible.
Isn't it?
But maybe she felt bad that no one else heard, and she's kind of.
I guess you can't be like, Carolyn just said this.
Yes.
Blah, blah, blah. It doesn't land as well. So you just got to say it.
Right.
I guess I didn't project.
I
didn't have my theater voice.
How many people were in this meeting? How big was the room?
100.
Oh, so it was big.
It was quite large.
And then when you said your humorous quip, what was it enough for the 100 or was it enough for the 4?
It was enough for there was 8 people at our table.
Okay.
Because it was table.
I see.
So everyone around me could hear. And they guffawed and chuckled.
Yes.
And then she projected it. So I guess the fault is mine. I'm sorry
Yes.
for being quiet.
The fault is in their stars. So this bitch, honey.
Uh-huh.
But you know who she is? You still
No,
interact with her?
I don't remember who she was.
Oh, she was just,
I didn't know her.
Ah.
She was not familiar to me. So I was like, I know you work here, but I have no idea who you are.
Yeah.
So I don't remember who she was or is or where she is currently.
She's currently stealing material from Joe Rogan.
No doubt she's climbing the corporate ladder
Yeah.
based on other people's jokes.
She's stealing material from Tom Segura and Bert Kreischer and insert stand-up comedian who has a podcast, which is every stand-up comedian here. Next one. So this is just the dentist when they have your mouth agape, wide open, and they say, "So how's life going?"
Why do they do that?
I don't know.
And you go,
Oh, really? That's nice.
They do. I don't go to the dentist twice a year.
Yes, that's a scam, but go ahead.
I go, like, when I have a problem, I go.
3,000 miles every oil change is also a scam, honey.
But I do twice a year take I do take the kids to the dentist.
You do, yes.
And I watch the dentist try to talk and interact with the kids while they're working in their mouth, and the kids are like, yeah, uh-huh. Like, what are you doing?
It's silliness. But on the other hand, have you had the dentist? I've had the dentist where the dentist starts chatting to the dental assistant.
Yeah.
So the dentist is usually a man, and the dental assistant is some gal, and they're like, "Oh, did you have that pastrami for lunch?" And yeah, I had the pastrami. Oh yeah. Nikki came in earlier. Oh yeah, I remember Nikki. And then they started having conversation. I'm sitting there with my mouth wide open, not being able to participate. But again, I don't really care as long as you don't engage me in convo. I prefer that as opposed to how's it going.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. Like, just ignore me. I'm not a human being. I'm just a mouth that you're examining.
Yeah,
and that's fine.
Although the dentist who asks, for instance, a 9-year-old Lennox Albert, the dentist who asks, "So, are you married yet?" That's kind of funny.
No, that's dumb.
No, that's cute. Okay, next one. Anxiety, awkward interaction, something or other. Trying to put change in my wallet at the cash register while people in line put pressure on me just by standing.
Why?
Yeah.
Why does this happen to us? Every person in line experiences this. Mm-hmm. You get your change, you get your receipt, you've got to put stuff together, you've got to get your stuff in order. And then the cashier and the person behind you are rushing you.
Yeah.
Why do they do that?
Yeah.
Because then the next person in line experiences the same thing. And it's just like a chain reaction. So we all know this happens. Why aren't we more courteous? Okay, I personally am very courteous of the person in front of me.
Yes.
I feel like this lands more on the cashier. Because they start ringing up items of the person behind you. And you're like, wait, ooh. This is so stressful to me. I hate it. I hate this so much.
I think to me it's not a big deal, but what's happened to me lately is I put my card in this stupid chip that they came out with 4 or 5 years ago.
Right.
This chip sometimes it malfunctions. Like you stick it in the dealio.
And oop.
Do you think the kids have been gone long? Are you worried?
I've been gone for
it's getting dark.
10-15 minutes. It's not getting dark.
And oop.
But my thing is that like the chip, this stupid chip, like I was fine with swiping. What happened to swiping? When I was a young man, we swiped. Do you remember when they used to have that whole metallic deal when you swiped your credit card and they had like a
I don't remember that, no.
Well, you're too young, honey. That's why I married you. But my thing is my chip malfunctions for whatever reason at various retailers, and so it deet. Oh, you got to put your chip again. Deet. Oh, now you can swipe it. And now, okay, and it's like 2 to 3 minutes later. The people behind me are annoyed. I'm annoyed. I want to get the hell out of here. And that drives me crazy. I don't know about putting change in my wallet, but
yeah, I pay more with card way more often than cash. But
Totally.
you've still got to get the receipt. You got to put your card back, and you've got to like get all your bags in and make sure you're
That's the thing.
cleared the way.
and
yeah, the
and
bags.
you got the carousel of a plastic bags. You got to spin it around, make sure. Oh, there's no downy over here.
Yep.
And some cash registers, some cashiers are good about that, but some are not.
Yep.
Next one, and this is regards to bowling. It's a sport.
Okay.
Why is it so awkward walking back after you bowl in bowling? Totally.
I haven't been bowling in probably 15 years.
I know.
But this still is seared into my soul.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter who you're with, your best friend, your boyfriend. It doesn't matter how comfortable you are. It feels so awkward to be walking back after you throw your ball and you walk back to the little turnstile thingy.
Yeah. Well, if you bowl like a strike or you bowl, how many are there? 12, 15?
I don't know. 10?
Or you do, you hit 8 of 10 or 9 of 10. You walk back. You're like, that's what's up, yo.
Hands in the air. Woo!
But if you have a gutter ball or if you knock down 1 or 2 pins, you're just, the walk back is, you shrink. You get smaller.
I feel like no matter what the outcome of your throw, or maybe this is just me, regardless of how good I do or how poorly, I just feel ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, do.
Have you ever thrown a strike?
Probably.
I have.
I'm not sure.
And I absolutely do the whoo. I do the Balky Bartokomous from Perfect Strangers. Yee! That was a reach.
I got it.
I don't even know if Balky ever bowled a strike, but that's what I remember
Well, I don't
in my
know
memory.
that, but I remember him, and I remember Perfect Strangers watching it
Yes.
as a child.
Cousin Larry Appleton. Next one. And well, this goes back to the cashier and the whole transaction. How me and the cashier look at each other while waiting for the debit card to authorize. Yeah.
I don't make eye contact, do you? I stare at the little like pin pad thing, like.
You're like, hurry up, connect.
I'm very like, I'm like, oh, like I'm at work or something. And I'm focusing on a report.
But sometimes it takes 10, 15, 20 seconds longer, so you have to make, or they're like, so how's the weather? how are you today? You got any plans today? We get hit up with that at Target all the time. What are your plans for today?
This is it. That's what you always say. This is the highlight of our day.
I do that in jest.
Or do you? Is that really the highlight of our day?
Well,
sometimes it is.
Do people take that question seriously on any level? Oh, well, I got to pick up my grandma and she's going to sing to Jace, huh? Excuse me, I'm sorry.
I'm only saying that because you told me once.
Yes.
When we're potting and I burp, tell me to say excuse me.
Oh, yeah.
And
absolutely.
I said, okay, honey.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's been a long time in terms of the pod. But, yeah, like, I don't know to look. Well, you stay on the little terminal.
I'm very focused. Like, this debit transaction.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very serious.
I feel like, well, I look at the perspective of the cashier, and they're like, hurry up, go, connect, don't, and my, like I said, my pin gets denied sometimes, and they're like, oh,
why did your pin get denied?
I don't know, because there's some, there's some sort of stuff on it.
Oh, like debris from your wallet or whatever?
There's debris. Or as Leo Laporte would say, detritus on it. And sometimes it doesn't ring. And so, or you know what? I've noticed that, like, I'll stick it in, as you know, honey. I'll stick it in, and it'll be like, burp, burp, burp. Like, no good. But then when I gently ease it in.
You gotta ease it.
Oh, yeah. And I go, gently, softly, enter this card. Introduce it slowly, as it were. Then it'll be like, oh, yeah, we don't like it. The terminal will be like, we don't like it hard.
Okay.
Or something.
Honey.
Yo. Next one.
Pause.
What's up? The Wild Chows?
Yes. Where are they?
They have a phone, right?
I'm gonna call her.
Okay.
And oop.
Okay, love you guys.
Love you too.
Bye.
Bye.
What happened?
They're climbing trees at the park, the river park.
And oop.
Next one. When you wave at someone who was actually waving at someone else.
Why?
This hits home.
This is heartbreaking.
Hits the heart. I go through a similar thing where I wave, like I go into and out of a lot of buildings for my job, and the security guard, I'll wave at the security guard and they'll be looking down at their paperwork or their telephone.
Oh, what?
And then I'm just like, oh, well, my waving at you, Mr. or Mrs. Security Guard, was pointless. So, I'm sorry.
This is another thing where I've taken the extreme to... It's happened before where someone was waving to me. Oh, no, they weren't. They were waving to somebody behind me. So embarrassing. I was wrong. So now whenever someone does wave to me,
yeah,
I ignore them. I just look down. I look away. I always default to they're not waving at you. So that's kind of awkward in its own way because now I'm ignoring people who are trying to say hi to me.
Yeah.
But I just err on the side of caution.
Yeah.
I maybe I shouldn't be doing that. I don't know.
If I were in your position and I waved and then the person waved to someone behind me, I'd give them the old middle finger.
Oh, would you?
The whole F you? No, I would not. But yeah, I think well, I hit him with the double. I go back for a second. I put myself out there for round 2. And I'm like, will you please wave to me? I was waving to you, Mr. or Mrs. Security Guard. Please let me know I exist. Please validate me. Please acknowledge me. Yeah. Next one. And the final one. This is a good one. This brings me back. All them feels back in the day. In elementary school, when we would have read out loud to the class from the textbook, I would literally count the kids in front of me and figure out what section I was reading so I could practice it before I got to my turn. And I think that's where my anxiety started. I absolutely did this. So I remember specifically, and we all sat at desks, and it was a pattern, a formula. Like I'm fourth to read. Like Judy Farah was first to read, and then after Judy there was someone, and then after that person, and then I was fourth, and so I would be like, okay, I gotta count down the paragraphs, and then I would read it in my head while Judy Farah was reading. Oh. And kind of sync it with make sure I wouldn't stumble or falter. Yeah, this hits home. Do you have memories?
Okay, my memory is quite different.
Yes.
I was such a dork.
Yes.
And an overachiever. I could not care less which paragraph came to me because I was so achieved. And I was so smart.
Yeah.
And I was such a good reading is where I excelled.
So if the class was reading Pride and Prejudice and one paragraph per each student, and you knew you were coming up 3 paragraphs away, you didn't think about it, you didn't have anxiety, you didn't worry about it. Oh.
Reading is where I was very comfortable.
That's true.
Okay.
You love to read.
I would like to
you
tell
make
you.
our family read.
I do. And I read out loud.
Force our family to read. Yes.
I do force us to have family reading time on the regular.
You do.
And I also read out loud to you and the children whenever you allow me to.
Yes.
Okay, so I was such a dork that in first grade, my teacher, whenever she had to like go talk to another teacher or go to the office, she would leave me, Carolyn, in charge of the class.
Carolyn Lee Fisher.
So I would go sit in a chair in front of my first grade
You were
peers,
like a TA.
And I would read out loud to them.
I would have been like, butt kisser.
I know, totally. I totally was. But like reading,
that's great.
it's my passion and I'm good at it, and it never made me nervous.
Yeah.
Other things make me nervous, but not reading.
That's fantastic, because although I would have mocked Carolyn Lee Fisher.
What?
In the end, I would have been like, well, the teacher's leaving, so there's some sort of structure happening, and it's not going to descend into chaos. So I would have been like, thank you for that, Carolyn
Thank
Lee
you,
Fisher.
responsible schoolmates.
Yes.
The kids are yelling at us.
I know. Alrighty. Well, that's the end of the program. It's been fun, but not really. Let's all try a little harder next time. Like, comment, subscribe, follow, review, and rate, or don't. Do whatever you want. You're a grown-up. Make your own decisions. Do what's best for your family. Please be sure to use our promo code for NordVPN. We don't have a promo code for NordVPN. Goodbye. I love you. We love you. We hope you have a good day today and tomorrow. And sure, I may have said that I can barely jog 20 feet in my golden age of nearly 44, but I'm still a good person, and we're still good people. Thank you for listening. Thank you for your time. I hope you have a wonderful day/night. Bye-bye.
I'm sorry.